Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the farm. I gotta step carefully off the deck there. I just got this. I don't know. She's trying to keep the chickens off the deck. She just stained it the other day. The chickens are gonna get murdered here soon if they don't quit pooping on the front deck. Anyways, it's a cool one this morning. I'm not too sure what the actual temperature is because our weather station, the battery died out on the pole. So I changed the battery, and then I changed the battery in here, and they're still not talking. So I'm gonna take it a little bit closer, maybe pull the battery, put the battery back in, the old IT trick, turn it off, turn it on again, and see if we can get things linked up here. Because the wife told me I was being a bit of a wimp the other day when I said, oh, I think it was 3 or 4 degrees outside. She's like, yeah, no, you're kind of a wimp. Not reading nothing. Turn it off, turn it on again. Anyhow, none of that is actually what we're supposed to be working on today. Nor is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get the battery out of the Gator so the girls can drive around while we get into the garden and try and deal with the weeds that are in there. Holy man, got carried away. So we deal with the weeds, and then I got to unload a bag of grain from Bloom Enterprises. And what else we gotta do? Gotta run out to Rio Grande, take some cinder block out there for the fire pit, and then bring a riding lawnmower back for my mother-in-law's. Park it in the shop so I can work on it and get that thing running for her. And somewhere in there, I'm not sure where we're gonna do it, where we're gonna fit it, but somewhere in there, I'd like to maybe try and get some of them hoops stood up on that greenhouse and start getting that point in the right direction before, because it's cold. It's cold this morning. I'd say we're bordering on 3 degrees, maybe 4 degrees at best. But I'm a wimp. What do I know? But yeah, eventually it's going to come. We're going to get up one morning and the ground is going to be white. And I can't have that greenhouse laying horizontal in the snow, because I'm just going to end up running over it with the tractor and wrecking something during the course of the winter. Anyways, I'm dealing with these stupid batteries for the Gator. These things got to be the biggest scam ever. So you can buy this right from Peg Perego with the case and everything, and the charging adapter, and they're hugely expensive. But the battery that's inside is but pretty much disposable. Like, just plan on buying a new one every year. So I went to Battery World this year, got a new battery, and you basically put the top and bottom on. It's just kind of in this little cage thing. And you put the little charge adapter on there. We're gonna rip this off, because what happens is in here, you can see that wire pulls off. Then you can't charge it, you can't drive it, and the kids have no fun. I'm gonna run it out of the case like that, but I'm just gonna take this little spade connector and just tighten it up a little bit. So when this goes on, sorry if it's super shaky, when that goes on there, it actually is going to have some friction to stay there. So it'll charge and the vehicle can run. So I got this ProLogix smart charger, and this was actually pulled off for a different project. This was originally for the RV, but it's fantastic because I can see that the battery's 72% charged. I can check the voltage. It's 13.1 volts. So I know that battery was charged, like fairly well charged. It just, that wire pulled off. So I'm just gonna, because the kids are gonna ride it here soon, I'm just gonna leave it charged for a little bit. And then that way they can start with a freshly charged battery. Well, I gotta admit though, I am impressed. I looked out just over the hill there. You can just see the tops of the trees there. The lambs are actually there. They're not out halfway across the farm, halfway to town. They're right where they're supposed to be for once. I should probably let this old girl warm up before I make her do one of the bigger lifts that she's ever got to do. So that bag of grain I got from Bloom's is 1,600 pounds. Now I got a set of Palet Forks for the front of this bucket. And typically in the wintertime when I've got the big tractor here, I'll run the bag of grain on top of the pallet, and I just lift it way up and I run it right in the side of the grain chute there. But those forks that I got for this tractor, they just kind of bolt on. They're just kind of a friction connection on the front of the bucket, and they're rated for 1,300 pounds. The bag is 1,600 pounds. I'm not ready to meet Jesus yet, so I'm just gonna lift it off with a chain through the eye holes in the bag and just set it down right here, and then yeah, do a bit of manual labor. I'm just literally gonna pull it out with buckets and bucket it in the shed. It will only be like probably 40 pails, and then it'll be done. Bit of work, but better than standing underneath a 1,600-pound bag and having it make you a little bit shorter. You know, one of the biggest mistakes I think a small farmer can make if they have a open cab tractor like we do without a waterproof seat is leaving the seat cushion out. So I always remembered, I don't know what this thing, it's come off of like some 1970s, maybe even earlier 1970s couch. It is a fantastic tractor seat cushion. It is also a fantastic sponge. It will soak up a ton of water. So every day when I'm done with the tractor, I got to bring it in here and set it inside so you don't have a wet bum. Perfect. You can see there, that bag of grain is that's everything that little tractor has to offer. That's all of it right there. You really got to give her some oomph just to get her going. So then of course you get, I mean, that's a light bag, that's 1,600 pounds. Typically he's going to load a 2,000 pound bag, and that's just too much for that little puppy right there. So that's just, you know, that just seals the deal as to why I certainly wouldn't want to stand underneath of that thing, because yeah, gravity would be unkind. You know, I got my tractor work done there, lifting that bag off, and then just come back, look at this weather station, and it's telling me the temperature is 7.6 degrees. And I got wind chill. I got no wind speed though, so maybe, well, it isn't windy today, but I'm thinking, yeah, maybe turn it off again. Just had to let it sit for a while, think about what it had done, and it's working. So I'll take it back in the house. Of course, it certainly wasn't 7 degrees when I first come out here. The sun's come out. It's the first day in a couple of days you can actually see the sun. Although you can't see the sun directly. But the last 2 days it's been just thick here with wildfire smoke. It's been windy, like it's drawn it in. But yesterday, the wind died down a bit, and it was just like trying to farm on the inside of a Traeger grill. It was terrible. You just couldn't see nothing. You couldn't breathe. You literally had to take a shovel and just shovel your way through the air. Anyway, speaking of shoveling, I better get myself my buckets and get that bag up and inside that shed. There she be. That's 1,600 pounds of peas, wheat, barley, oats. There's even some canola in there. So let's get to bucketing it in. So there you have it. The whole bag of grain's unloaded. It's in the shed. There's your no excuses post for the day. All this technology is supposed to make life easy for us, but that doesn't mean, you know, in the absence of technology, or you take a breakdown or whatever it might be, that doesn't mean you can't can't still do a little bit of physical labor and get it done. That bag, I think that cost me $465 or something close to that anyways. And you know, there's my annual gym membership right there. Got my first workout in. Hell of a, you know, no awkward social situations, anything like that. And it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving. And at the end of it, I get chicken feed out of it, or sheep feed, or whatever I decide to feed it to. So it's a no-lose situation there. You know, now that's done, I think we're gonna head back to Rio Grande. We're gonna go see about. We take this flat deck trailer. Father-in-law's gonna move a shed over to the cabin. We're gonna set up these cinder blocks around the fire pit there, so the kids don't burn their fingers. And then I'll have the trailer on to bring the lawnmower home, so I can fix that in my spare time. I don't know what I have spare time, but anyways, we'll get it fixed sometime this winter so that there's a lawnmower for down at the cabin too. So I'm in the little Deutz tractor here now. Just picked it up from the father-in-law's place. You can see that big old wide load back there. That's the shed for the cabin. Got loaded on the trailer. We're going to use 2 tractors, pick up either side, pull it off the trailer, and then skid it into position. So she's a bit of a rodeo, but we're getting it done. Well, we've had a big day. We got the big old shed moved in there. So that was good. The girls got the fire pit all set up, and even got the John Deere riding lawnmower. The deck is in behind there, but we got that hauled home here. So this is a little project. I'm not sure what this is going to look like, but we bought this from an auction 3-4 years ago for the in-laws, as just kind of as a hot spare because theirs was acting up, and it fired up and ran perfect at the sale. They ran it once at home and then parked it and then went to run it again, and you know what, lo and behold, it didn't run anymore. And so it sat in their shed, like I said, for probably 3 or 4 years now. And of course, nothing's going on with it. So I'm not sure where to start with this thing, but I think we're going to give it the old Christine treatment. We're just going to a little bit of love and care, put some air in the tires, give it a wash, fresh tank of gas, charged battery, clean the spark plug. We'll start there. And if that doesn't get it, well then we'll have to take a bit of a deeper dive. But anyways, for now, I've got one tired little teddy bear on my shoulder, so I better get her in the house and maybe get some supper in her tummy. So I'll let you go for now. I hope you have a fantastic afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow.